Welcome to Marketing Part 2, Schools. In this course, we're going to be talking about entering schools and teachers in Salesforce, the school marketing tracker, partnering with schools, math and STEAM nights, and then we'll do some closing tasks. All right, so first up is going to be entering schools and teachers in your Salesforce. So entering your schools and teachers in Salesforce does allow us to mass email them, as well as keep track of which students have who as their particular teachers. Now, these are the steps that you use to enter them in, but in one of the following Trainio courses modules, you'll also see how to do that. Next up is the school marketing tracker. So the new CD marketing tracker is designed to keep an organized list of your schools and activities associated with them. Each center will have 3 tabs: an organization list, a marketing activities tab, and a contact list. I'm going to go through and talk about each piece of the school marketing tracker, but I'll also be doing this in one of the following training module recordings that will show you piece by piece what's in what space. So the organizations list does contain the following: the school names by rank, whether or not we have a partnership with them, the number of students that are enrolled at Mathnasium, the level of the school, so whether it's in elementary, middle, or high school, if it's public or private, and the different contacts that we have in that school, as well as if we are a partner with them, we have a link to their partnership agreement, and any other notes that might be going on the tracker. The Marketing Activities tab is going to contain the following: whether the event has been presented, school year, the type of event, the organization name that it's associated with, activity, so whatever the activity actually is, the date, how much it costs, the number of leads we collected from it, the number of assessments we scheduled, any description about the activity, whether or not it's important to do the activity next time, if it is, the different things we need to remember, the point of contact for the activity as well. The contact list portion of the marketing tracker will contain whether or not the contact has been plugged into M2, the contact name and role, the organization they're associated with, their email address and phone number, the last time we contacted them, and any notes associated with that contact. Again, the marketing tracker I will show you in a different recording. Now, let's talk about partnering with your schools. When working with schools, you really should have 2 goals. Number 1 is to build awareness in your community, and number 2, be a resource to the students, teachers, and schools looking for math growth. The first part of that is understanding your school outreach. So schools have your target audience, school-age kids doing math. This includes public and private schools, elementary and middle and high in your area. Some schools will welcome you, while others will not. You should expect this and view school marketing as a long-term relationship where you go with the attitude of, we'd love to work with you to help students in our community succeed. When working with the schools, again, you should have those 2 goals of building awareness of Mathnasium within your community and being the resource to your students, teachers, and the schools themselves looking for math growth. Every school is slightly different, so take the time to understand the school's specific needs and be flexible to meet them. Following are initiatives that work for most Mathnasium centers, followed by best practices that work in some markets. So remember, your school involvement should result in your being seen as a partner, not a competitor, and the school's job is to teach math, and ours is to support their efforts. Persistence is going to be key. It may be that you're only able to make contact with 6 of your 12 target schools. So continue to call or email with offers of help and change up your suggestions and experiment with messaging until you hear a definite no. Once you identify the elementary, middle, and high schools in your area and their key contacts, you want to visit the websites of the public and private schools in your territory and pull the contact information. Typically, for the list of local schools and teachers, you can use the school's website. You can also find information on the website of your local school district if you're having trouble. Just note, for middle and high school, you want to gather contact information for their math department chair, the athletic directors, guidance counselors, PTA, partners in education, and their STEM coach leaders, and really all math teachers. At a minimum, you want to collect the following school and school personnel contact information. So the school name, grade levels, and school types, the mailing address, the key contacts, and the key contact emails. When you enter each school and key contact, you are marketing to do that under the schools tab in M2. Under each school record, you do want to add the contacts. And again, I had the slide that showed you the steps, but I also have a recording of how to do this. Recording the schools and personnel in M2 will enable you to track communication to your contacts, and you'll also be able to track which schools your enrolled students are coming from. So be sure to continually update your records as these contacts do frequently change. You want to prepare for meetings. So going into a meeting prepared is always an outreach best practice. Before requesting a meeting at the school, you want to make sure that you visit the school website, read their newspaper, review their PTA, PTO calendar for specific opportunities where we can help and research the school's latest test course so you go in informed. Don't give up until you have an appointment and be patient. It can take some time. Now, the fourth step would be reaching out to the principal to understand the school's goals and yearly plan. While the school principal may not be your ongoing contact, he or she is a great place to start if you're not in with that school yet. And you want to understand the school's goals again, and make sure that you're looking for the implicit endorsement when reaching out to other contacts. The goal of your principal meeting is going to be 1, understand the school's needs, 2, extend an offer to support the principal's initiatives for the year, and 3, learn who your key contacts should be at the particular school. Typically, it's not the principal. It's going to be someone else who's running their business partners. You want to introduce Mathnasium, explain what we do, and how we can support them by being a partner. Bring a student binder with you and show examples of our curriculum, and mention names of other principals or neighboring schools and key contacts in the community you've already been working with. Provide some examples to demonstrate the benefit of our partnership. Just a note, to get the principal, you may have to work through various sources. Support staff in the office are one key source, PTA and fellow parent contacts. It's also beneficial to reach out and meet with other key contacts in the school who should be aware of Mathnasium. School counselors are tasked with helping students in the area of academic achievement, personal and social development, and career development. In elementary school, and especially in high school, they're a great contact and partner for you. Most schools have a main secretary who is also the gatekeeper, and you want to build a rapport with this key individual because she can assist you in many ways. Try to get an in-person visit with a campus counselor or curriculum specialist, and start by calling to schedule a visit with a stated goal of understanding their initiatives and goals. You want to bring Mathnasium material to your in-person meeting, and if you are unsuccessful in scheduling an in-person meeting, mail the counselor some information instead, along with a handwritten note, and try contacting them again. Your meeting goal should be, again, understanding their needs and finding a way to support them, getting on the tutoring list if one exists for the school. For PTA and PTO presidents, the PTA president is a great school resource because they have direct contact with parents and are typically receptive to a partnership. When contacting a school, or the gatekeeper is the one that answers, you want to ask for the name and contact information of the PTA president. If you can't get that the contact from the school directly, ask your students' parents for an introduction. You also want to ask to attend the next PTA meeting if you do get in contact with them as a local supporter of the school and your community. You don't want to give your sales pitch right off the bat. With these people. You want to take drinks, cookies, coffee, and leave business cards and brochures and just talk to them a little bit about what we do, not necessarily trying to sell our program to them right off the bat. If you're unable to meet with your desired contact in person, again, send an informational package with a personalized note and an offer to help. And remember to reach out on key dates. Teacher Appreciation Day, Secretary's Day, these are great times to work your way into the school. There are a bunch of other ideas that can be implemented for all of your school levels that you can present to them, that we can partner with them on. So refer to your marketing, sales, and enrollment packets for all of those ideas. Once you're in with the school as a partner, you want to use the school programs and initiatives to gain exposure. So FaceTime is key to creating and seizing opportunities for your student, parent, and teacher exposure. When you volunteer your time at school via PTA, PTO events, meetings, or even hosting math nights in the school, you're much more likely to get an exposure opportunity when one should arise. You'll be the first to know about any sponsorship opportunity, and you'll have direct access to teachers, parents, and decision makers to suggest co-sponsored events that give you direct access to families. Through PTA involvement, teachers and parents will be directly aware of you should a child be a good fit for Mathnasium. For this reason, there is no magic bullet with regard to school involvement. You can't simply put money towards school sponsorships and assume you'll get a great return. You actually have to be there. Once you're involved with the school, you'll want to suggest initiatives that are a win-win for both you and the school. And always keep this in mind. Whenever going into a school, have material with you. So that includes PTA and PTO meetings, school events, or even meetings with key contacts. At school events, such as a PTA presentation, entertain the students once your presentation is over. Take the kids aside for some game time so that they get to know you and engage with Mathnasium. Math event material is available on M2 as Math Event Games folder that includes an implementation overview, game instructions, game posters, and sell sheets for parents. We also have math night activities located in our Google Drive. Those are typically the ones that we use. Whenever a sponsorship or event is finalized, be sure to publicize it on your website and in your center whenever you post center news. Consider an offer for these parents and partners, such as a free trial, and this might even be better than a free assessment, which can be less engaging and takes up much more of your time to administer. Following an event or presentation, thank the administrators and anybody else who assisted with that event. You can send handwritten thank you cards, you can do donuts and coffee, or anything else you think is fitting for that event. And share any photos you took and post on your own channels. We do have email marketing, social media. Just be sure to get permission beforehand if the images include students. And just a note, supporting staff with snacks for a day and branded items is both a nice way to build rapport with the staff and generate awareness of your brand. And if you're really struggling, consider alternate initiatives. Use a variety of initiatives and connections to gain exposure to your target audience. Make sure to read through the school initiatives, suggested win-win opportunities document, in addition to considering some of the following. Working with the Chamber of Commerce. Some schools may be closed to individual business, but may work with the Chamber. I mean, you can even try to get on the Chamber's educational committee for credibility and greater involvement. We've worked with the Chamber before. Sometimes it's beneficial, sometimes it's not. So it's best to research before you make that decision. The school board superintendent and board members may also be open doors for you, as maybe parent advocates. School newspaper advertising has typically not been successful for our centers, but the paper is more often read by students, not parents, who are typical initiators. So there might be people that approach you asking to be in the yearbook, the school paper, to pay for ads and such, but we haven't gotten a lot out of that. All right. Now, one of the biggest things that we do in our schools, once we've partnered with them, is a math and STEAM night. And they are honestly one of the best exposure events we can participate in with the school, because we're able to demonstrate how much fun we can have with the students, as well as the parents in our centers. So you want to plan a particular night with the school where we can host and set up multiple stations of math activities. Sometimes we will run the entire event ourselves. Other times we'll partner up with other businesses like Mad Science that'll come in and do the science portion of the STEAM night. As the student completes the activities, they fill in what we call a punch card. So once the punch card is filled, they can come up to the main table at the end and spin our prize wheel. Students are also entered into a raffle for a 1-month scholarship if they've completed everything on their punch card. And all of these materials are located on the Google Drive in the Math Night Materials folder. And there has recently been added a new Math Night Materials folder with a lot more educational games and such that Jody has created for us all. And they are quite wonderful. Any school marketing questions, you are more than welcome to email me about, as well as ask on any of our other training calls. And your fellow center directors and other trainers, area directors will be able to answer them as well.